Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I thought we would do a quick mid-year goals check-in video because we are officially halfway through 2017, as crazy ridiculous as that sounds. Now unfortunately this is probably going to be kind of a downer video because, as I've mentioned before, I'm just having a very bad reading year for whatever reason. It's not that I'm not feeling motivated to read, it's just that I'm not reading. We're gonna just go through a few numbers here, check in with the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, and see just how poorly I am doing. My most basic goal for the year was to read 50 books, and according to Goodreads, I am officially 13 books behind schedule with only 10 books read. Now, like I said, I am just not reading for whatever reason. I really want to read and I have a great time every time I sit down to read, but I also feel really guilty every time I sit down to read, like I should be doing something else. So I don't know what that's about, but that's what's been going on in my head right now. Then I also was trying to do a very casual read your own damn books project where I focused on reading the books that I had already owned prior to the start of 2017. So when I had categorized or cataloged all of those books in January, I came up with the number of 137 unread books. Now, of those 137 unread books that I owned at the beginning of 2017, I have only read 3. So that's not doing so great, and I've acquired quite a few other books as the year has gone on. I will definitely try and make more of an effort to read the books on that list as I continue reading throughout the rest of the year, but I think part of the problem is just, again, I'm not really reading enough numbers to make any kind of dent in that unread TBR. Although I have only read 10 books this year, I'm happy to report that my star ratings have been pretty high, so I haven't read any 1 or 2 star reads, which I think is at least a plus, because if I'm not reading a ton, at least I'm reading things that aren't crap. So of the 10 books I have read this year, 6 have been 3 stars, 3 have been 4-star reads, and then I have had 1 5-star read. And surprisingly enough, that was actually a poetry chapbook, which was Retribution Binary by Ruth Bauman. Now, this one I was sent for review by Black Lawrence Press and just haven't had a wrap-up video or anything to feature it in, and haven't had enough to say about it for a full review. Now, if you're somebody who is not normally into poetry, who's maybe a little bit intimidated by it and doesn't know where to start, I think this is a great collection for you. One, it is incredibly short, like you can't even barely see that, so it's not a huge commitment, but also the poetry is just very easy. Some of it is, let me see here, some of it is prose poetry that looks more like a traditional paragraph, and some of it is, I guess, more traditionally in lines and stanzas and things like that. But it's just very easy to read poetry. I think her imagery is really beautiful, and I thought I would just read you, I guess this is the second poem in here, called Thrash, a Study in Wreckage. The sun, a spasm, delirious with too much perspective. The girl moves forward. Sweat, of course. Forward subjective, of course. Engulfed. Verb. State of being, state of impossibility. She's thinking of what she misses, except she can't think. One thought crosses another like a car, T-boning the future. Nesting dolls, omnipotent. Gravel sticks to her toes, pin pricks little as God memory. Something nags. Here is a body, put yourself in it, and stay there, and stay there, and stay. So like I said, her imagery is really beautiful. It's really easy to get into, and it's not the kind of poetry where you are going to get lost if you're a beginner. And yeah, I would just really recommend this one, and this is the only 5-star read I've had so far this year. And kind of the last real reading goal I had for myself for 2017 was to read more diversely when it came to genre. So I took a look at the 10 books that I have read so far this year, and 3 of them were literary fiction, 1 of them was translated, 2 were poetry collections, I had 2 memoirs, and then 2, I guess, like, thriller or crime fiction. 1 was a James Bond novel and 1 was a Kay Scarpetta novel. And then I had 1 nonfiction read, which was a translation of the Quran. So that has been my reading year so far. I'm not going to go too much further into it because, quite frankly, I don't know what else to say. I just haven't been reading a ton, but I really, really want to. The funny thing is that at the beginning of each month I start off really strong and I read 1 thing, and then I kind of don't read for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then at the end of the month I'm scrambling to read something because I want to have a wrap up for you guys, and then that kind of puts me off reading, and yeah, I don't know. So I think I just need to relax about reading. I need to just go with the flow and read what I want to, and yeah, who knows? Hopefully that'll work. Anyways, I would love to hear how you guys are doing this year in your reading goals. Hopefully you are doing a better job than I am, but otherwise that is all I have for today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye. That was a really that was a really long breath in. My basic year for the goal.